Most people learn about money the hardest way, by losing it. The truth is clear: if you don't learn to manage money, it will control you. This is an uncomfortable reality, but one that many prefer to ignore. What would you do if you were 20 and knew what you know today about finances? The answer to that question could change your future. Because in the end, time doesn't forgive. Now stop and ask yourself, are you doing enough to make sure that 20 years from now, you won't look back and regret how you handled your money? Jim Rohn used to say, wealth is not determined by what you earn, but by what you do with what you earn. That leads us to an unavoidable reflection. Are you doing enough with what you have now, or are you just waiting for things to work out on their own? This video is for those ready to change their relationship with money. Let's get straight to the point. What you need to know now, while there's still time. The way we handle money determines the path we take in life. It can either build empires or destroy dreams. For most, money is a constant source of stress, confusion, and missed opportunities. It's not that money itself is evil, but how we manage or fail to manage it can have catastrophic consequences. Studies show that 70% of people are living paycheck to paycheck with no savings or financial security. This alone paints a sobering picture of how poor financial habits can shape the future. When you don't understand money, you give away your power. You allow debt, poor decisions, and a lack of financial education to guide your life. On the flip side, mastering money brings freedom, confidence, and the ability to create lasting wealth. The difference between financial success and failure is often just knowledge. Knowledge you can start learning right now. Think about this. Most financial struggles are self-inflicted, caused by not understanding the basic principles that could guide you to financial independence. But it doesn't have to be this way. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of how to take control of your financial life and start building the foundation for a prosperous future. You'll discover actionable insights and strategies to transform your relationship with money and make it work for you. It's time to stop letting money control you and start taking charge of your financial destiny. The greatest enemy of financial success is not the lack of money, but the lack of the right mindset. Many people live trapped in a negative mental pattern that prevents them from achieving financial success. This pattern is not necessarily conscious, but it reflects in every financial decision they make, and over time, it creates a cycle of frustration and stagnation. This type of mindset is characterized by the belief that money is something that just happens, or that wealth is only for others, not for them. As a result, they continue living in scarcity, never breaking this cycle of self-imposed limitations. In daily routines, this mindset shows up in several ways. For example, when someone receives their paycheck, the first reaction might be to think about how quickly the money will disappear with bills, debts, and monthly expenses. This person cannot see beyond the short term and stays stuck in the immediate, not considering the long-term impact of their financial choices. Instead of saving or investing, they may spend impulsively, thinking that there is no way out or opportunity to improve their situation. Another classic example is the habit of procrastination. The person knows they need to invest in their financial education, but they constantly delay, believing that now is not the right time, or it's not for me. By doing so, they drift farther away from taking control of their financial life. This procrastination is a clear reflection of a negative mindset that builds barriers to taking action. This mindset also shows in how people handle their debt. Instead of facing the problem head-on and taking steps to pay off their debts, many surrender to despair, believing they will never get out of the financial hole they've dug themselves into. This generates a cycle of anxiety and inaction. Jim Rohn used to say, "If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan." This phrase perfectly summarizes what happens when someone lives with a negative money mindset. By not taking charge of their financial life, they become a hostage to circumstances and end up living by the plans that life or debt impose on them. So, how does one break out of this cycle? The first step is recognizing that the way you think about money is shaping your reality. The negative mindset needs to be replaced with an abundance mindset, where the focus is on how to earn more, save, invest, and grow. The challenge isn't how much you earn, but how willing you are to change the way you think and act regarding money. It's like trying to navigate a boat with broken oars. No matter how hard you try, you won't get anywhere. Only when you fix the oars and learn to steer in the right direction can you reach your destination. The same applies to your financial life. What you think about money and how you act around it will determine your financial future. The origin of this mental error that prevents us from achieving financial success is deeply rooted in our culture, our fears, and our habits. From childhood, we are conditioned to view money as something distant, complicated, and hard to attain. Many grow up with the belief that money doesn't grow on trees, or that you need to be born into a wealthy family to succeed financially. These cultural patterns create a mental block that prevents people from believing in their own potential to build wealth. Fear also plays a crucial role. Fear of failure, fear of losing what you already have, fear of being judged by others. When fear mixes with a lack of knowledge about money, it creates the perfect storm that paralyzes any attempt at action. Many prefer to stay in the comfort zone of scarcity, living by the belief of, "I have enough to survive," rather than taking bold steps toward prosperity. This fear can be more powerful than the desire to improve, and people end up settling, believing they have no control over their financial lives. Habits are another factor that sustains this mental error. Bad habits like impulsive spending, procrastination, or even ignoring finances are invisible, but they are present all the time. Every small wrong decision feeds a cycle of poverty. You wake up, check your phone, scroll, and stay poor. This is what happens every day without even realizing it. Time is spent on distractions rather than being invested in learning and action. Small choices like watching one more episode on streaming instead of studying finance, or buying something unnecessary just because it's on sale, are the choices that keep many people stuck in the same financial position. Now, imagine this in a real-life scene. You wake up, check your phone, scroll through social media, wasting another hour of your day. You see others traveling, buying things, living lives that seem so much more interesting than yours, and it makes you think that money only comes to a select few. But the truth is, those distractions are pulling you further away from your true goal. You're drowning in a routine where money slips through your fingers, and you don't even realize you're being consumed by your own daily choices. You think you're just relaxing or distracting yourself, but in reality, you're moving further away from financial freedom. What you spend every day isn't just your time, it's your future. Every second that passes without focus, without action, is a second lost. You are where you are because you prefer the safety of distractions over the courage to take action. Winners think like this. They see money as a tool, not as an end. This shift in perspective may seem simple, but it's the key to the mental transformation that can change your financial life. When you start viewing money differently, your approach to it changes automatically. The secret isn't how much you earn, but how you think about what you earn and what you do with it. Winners know that true wealth comes from being intentional with financial choices, not from waiting for luck or destiny to sort things out. Imagine the difference between someone who lives reactively, waiting for the next paycheck to pay the bills, and someone who is proactive, always thinking about how to make money work for them. The winner doesn't worry about the lack of resources. They think about ways to generate more, save more, invest more. They understand that money will never be an end in itself, but a tool that can be used to create freedom, security, and above all, opportunities. This mindset shift reflects in daily actions. When you begin to see money as a tool, you start asking yourself how you can multiply it. Instead of spending impulsively, the winner thinks about how they can invest wisely. Instead of postponing learning, they invest in financial education, knowing that each new piece of knowledge is a step toward financial freedom. Habits change. You begin setting aside time to learn about finances, seeking ways to increase your income, and making more strategic decisions. By adopting this mindset, behavior automatically adjusts. The focus shifts from scarcity to abundance. Fear gives way to action. You are no longer trapped by the belief that money is limited, but in the belief that it can grow when you take control of your financial life. Decisions that once seemed difficult or scary become clear and natural. Winners don't see challenges, they see opportunities. When faced with obstacles, they view them as moments to learn, adjust, and keep moving forward. Doubt and insecurity turn into strength because they know that every step, even the wrong ones, brings them closer to their final goal. The river doesn't worry about being small. It simply follows its course until it becomes the ocean. This is the mindset of a winner. They are not afraid of the size of their beginning because they know that, with time and the right choices, they will grow and reach their destination. Now that you understand the winning mindset, it's time to put it into practice. It's not enough to know, you must act. The good news is that these actions don't have to be complicated. The secret is in the choices you make every day. The mindset you adopt directly reflects in your financial decisions, and that's where true transformation happens. First, say no. Don't give in to the pressure of impulse buying. When you see something you don't need, stop and ask yourself, do I really need this? If the answer is no, walk away. Avoiding unnecessary expenses is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to gain control over your finances. Say no. Every time you decline an impulsive purchase, you gain more control over your money and your future. Second, invest it. Invest in yourself, invest in your knowledge, and of course, invest whatever you can into assets that will provide returns in the future. Don't wait to have a large amount saved up to start. Start with what you have now. The key is to take that first step. If you're not sure where to begin, start with a basic investment account like an emergency fund, or consider low-cost investment options such as stocks in solid companies or even cryptocurrencies. If you're willing to learn about the market, invest it. The money you invest today is what will work for you tomorrow. Third, control your routine. How you organize your time will directly impact your financial situation. Wake up every day with a clear purpose: to learn, grow, and move forward. Set aside time each day to study finance or to improve a skill that increases your value in the market. Walk away from distractions that don't contribute to your financial growth. Avoid getting lost in social media or activities that waste time without providing a return. Each of these actions, though simple, is key to turning your mindset into a winning financial lifestyle. What you do every day shapes your future, and every choice can make the difference between scarcity and abundance. So don't wait any longer. What you do today creates your tomorrow. This is where freedom starts. It begins here with the small daily actions where true financial freedom starts. By taking control of your financial life, you take the first step toward a more prosperous and free life. Now take a moment, breathe deeply, and reflect. I want you to ask yourself, what does money truly represent to you? Is it a tool to achieve your dreams, or is it a burden you carry every day? What beliefs do you hold about money? Do you believe there is enough for everyone, or do you think you have to fight for every penny? When was the last time you made a difficult but smart financial choice? What stopped you from acting differently in that moment? Now, I want you to do a mental exercise. Grab a piece of paper and write for 5 minutes without worrying about perfection or what others would think. Just write. What are the 3 biggest financial blocks you have right now? What actions can you take to overcome each of these blocks? What would your life look like if you had financial freedom? What would change in your everyday life? Only you can answer that. But you must, because the answer is inside you, waiting to be discovered. Don't let procrastination or fear control you. The changes you're seeking are just one decision away. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. Jim Rohn. The path to financial freedom isn't about making huge leaps. It's about mastering the small, consistent actions over time. Every decision you make, no matter how small it seems, is shaping your future. It's the daily habits, the mental shifts, and the actions you take today that will determine where you are tomorrow. So what is the one thought you're allowing to control your future? Is it a limiting belief or a mindset that's holding you back? Take a moment to reflect and share it in the comments below. What thought is shaping the direction of your financial life? Sometimes simply acknowledging it is the first step toward change. Remember, you have the power to rewrite your story. It starts with the choices you make now. Keep moving forward, one step at a time.